there's people that are going to go, and I'll talk about Sturgis here a little bit. I found some stories on Sturgis. Dateline, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Right, there's some information coming out about that rally. Um, Sometimes, as real as things are, they are abstract to us. Right, a lot of people have died. We know that. We hear the numbers. A lot of people have been infected. Those of us who have not been infected, and of course have not passed away, those are statistics. And some people can't move out of that level of abstraction and convert it into a way of understanding how real it is. And I don't care who you are, how healthy you are, how sick you are, or how anything you are in between. You get infected with that virus, yes, the majority of people don't die. That's true. But people do die. And it's not a rational argument to say, well, you know, that percentage of people who die is small. Really? Even if it were 1%, it's not acceptable. And people just, I don't know if they sometimes don't, they just can't put it together that this is a real and ever present danger. We all fall into that trap. I don't own a motorcycle, and I'm glad I don't. And I hope those people that are going to be headed out to Sturgis just think this through a little bit. LTN, coast to coast and globally, and we stream. Be back.
Are you looking for a healthy response to inflammation but have yet to find one? You're not alone. You're looking for Turmeric Power Plus, made by North American Herb & Spice, a leader in the manufacturing of natural dietary supplements. Turmeric Power Plus is not your normal turmeric-based product. No, this potent formula combines wild raw turmeric, oregano oil, along with ginger and rosemary. That's why it's able to support healthy, full-body inflammation response. Turmeric Power Plus is more powerful than curcumin and turmeric supplements alone. To learn more about Turmeric Power Plus, visit your local health food store or our website, oreganol.com. Oreganol.com. That's oregano.com. Act now and feel better today with Turmeric Power Plus from North American Herb & Spice.
You experience the wisdom of nature with Zyflamend Whole Body from New Chapter? Zyflamend is a 10-herb blend that delivers 3 health benefits. First, Zyflamend is an herbal approach to pain relief, helping to soothe minor pain or soreness. Second, Zyflamend is a joint supplement with time-tested herbs to support joint function and flexibility. And the third benefit, Zyflamend supports the body's healthy inflammation response, something that's essential for maintaining whole body health. Zyflamend is New Chapter's clinically tested blend of 10 remarkable herbs, including pure and potent turmeric, ginger, and green tea. Zyflamend is non-GMO, project verified, gluten-free, and 100% vegetarian. New Chapter is a leader in supplement quality. Every ingredient, product every time. Discover Zyflamend, New Chapter's #1 selling multi-herbal. Zyflamend is made with ginger for occasional pain relief after exercise. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
What?
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Irwin Naturals, premium vitamins and supplements. 25 years of gold standard supplements. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back, folks, to Let's Talk Nutrition. There are a couple of other things for parents and others that are taking care of children, responsible for them, to think about as you're sending them back to school. In addition to what else I said, you might want to consider being familiar with how your school will make water available to the youngsters during the day. You need to find out, what are they going to do about that? And consider packing a water bottle for your kids. You should develop daily routines before and after school. For example, things to pack for school in the morning, such as hand sanitizer, an additional backup cloth face covering in case they lose the one they have, kids are likely to do, and things to do when they return home. When they come through that door, they wash their hands immediately. And, wash the cloth. If it's a cloth, your face cover, cloth face mask, wash it. Talk to your children or your child about precautions at school, to take at school. Tell them to wash and sanitize their hands often while at school. Remind them to maintain their physical distance from other students. Remind them to wear a cloth face covering. Avoid sharing objects, not even a pencil, with another student. Oh, I guess that's back in the day. Now it would be an iPad or something like that. Not a water bottle, nothing. No writing it. Don't share your book. They can't. Remind them to use hand sanitizers that contain at least 60%. It's got to be at least 60% alcohol. Or give them a tube, you know, of the Silver Biotics product. Put that in their little bag. Make sure the information is current at school. Emergency contacts that you need to have. An individual is authorized to pick up your kids from school. They need all the officials at school need to have that up to date. Be familiar with your school's plan for how they will communicate with you and other families when a positive case or exposure to someone with COVID-19 has, occurs, and that person is identified. So these are some things that you can do. Plan for a possible school closure or periods of quarantine. You never know. And what about the transportation? Does your child ride a bus? How are they going to get there? How's your child going to get there? Carpooling? I don't know about that. So those are some things to think about. You can go to the CDC.gov coronavirus website and they review these, and you can sit there and take notes and at your leisure read it for yourself. These are children. They need to be protected. They're our responsibility. So I've done a little bit of research on this business in Sturgis, State Line, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sturgis is on. That message spread faster on social media than the coronavirus has spread around the world. The message has been broadcast. I mean, I got two computers going here. I got on my left, I'm looking at the social media where they're advertising this Sturgis motorcycle rally. They even have a Facebook page. Of course they do. That's routine now. And the message has been broadcast across social media as South Dakota, which has seen now an upsurge in coronavirus infections in recent weeks, is trying to brace itself to host hundreds of thousands of bikers for the 80th edition of the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Well, okay. More than 250,000 people are expected to rumble, they said, through western South Dakota. Seeking freedom of cruising, they reported. The boundless landscapes in a state that has skipped lockdown. Well, we'll see. August 7th to 16th. What is that, about 10 days or so? Something like that, which could be the biggest anywhere so far during the pandemic. Are they serious? Are they serious? You might be asking, why would they do that? What would be the underlying mechanism of action, as we say in chemistry and biology and whatnot? How about this? Rally goers in the past have spent upwards of $800 million. Oh, I see. This is according to the Department of Tourism. Is that the motive here? Oh, I know. They're just happy to be on their bike and they want to go get infected. Come on, man. Stop it. Yeah. 800. So we got a financial motive. Oh, yeah. They're calling this ignominious. This is going to be, they say it has an ignominious history of biker gangs and lawlessness, and bikers of different sort have shown up in recent years. Affluent professionals also show up there. Bankers who want to be lawless. They would like to rob the bank instead of working the bank, I guess. I don't know what they're doing. So it's going to be quite a demographic mix of people. And they're coming with the loot, man. $800 million they've spent in past years. And those businesses in that area, this is good for them, at least momentarily. So there's a campground. It's called Buffalo Chip. You know what that is, right? You know what a Buffalo is. It's the largest campground and concert venue that lies outside the bounds of the city. It made it clear that it would hold some version of the rally. This is going to be a disaster. I wish them well, man. I hope that they do what they got to do to protect themselves. Because now if they get infected, 250,000 people, they're going to spread the virus. LTN coast to coast and globally. Can't catch the virus listening and watching this show. We'll be back.
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The Heart Drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow, our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish-blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. Available online at powermall.com and straussnaturals.com. I promise you won't be sorry.
This is Dr. Michael Garko from Let's Talk Nutrition. Tired of not having enough energy to exercise and be physically active? OptiNOS from Earth's creation can help recharge your body, energy it needs to live a physically active lifestyle. OptiNOS does 3 things to help energize. First, it increases nitric oxide, which means more oxygen and nutrients flowing to your cells. Second, OptiNOS helps create ATP, the body's energy. Third, OptiNOS reduces lactic acid buildup, which causes exercise-associated muscle soreness. So turn on your body's energy switch, OptiNOS. Start living a physically active lifestyle. Get OptiNOS at ECSportsUSA.com. That's ECSportsUSA.com. For a limited time, use promo code EC and get $10 off your first order. Promo code EC. The sooner you use OptiNOS, the sooner you will feel better about yourself and your body.
The proceeding was a commercial.
.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. And you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Okay, I'm back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in today. In this hour, I'm going to talk about a topic that is difficult, but we need to address it. And I haven't done a show on this topic in a long time, and going to put this week, going to put a spotlight on cancer. And we're going to talk about breast cancer, prostate cancer, any kind of cancer you want to talk about. The lines are always available. This topic typically strikes fear into the hearts of people, and it's understandable. What's ironic about this disease is that it's so prevalent, but when a person is diagnosed with it, all of a sudden it is as if, and this happens to many people, they know that it's bad news, that diagnosis, but they don't know really what to do about it. They don't have much personal knowledge. That, there's a lot of reasons for that. You ask somebody about what do you do, for heart disease. A lot of people can tell you certain things, what you need to do, or if you're having a heart attack, what to do. People, they get educated about it. With cancer, that's another matter. Again, the prevalence is remarkable. When you look at the chronic disease list, it's there. Heart disease is number one, cancer is number two. And getting educated about it is an important thing to do. Unfortunately, I can talk to you about this from firsthand experience. And I talk to a lot of people. When we get past this coronavirus business, and that day will come, get in front of some more audiences and talk about my experience, my journey, in order to help educate others. Not that it's about me. My narrative is not about me. It's about trying to help people understand what this insidious disease is. And it is unrelenting, it's unforgiving, it's undiscriminating, and totally just relentless. And there's not an age group. Think about this, that it doesn't afflict from infants to the elderly and everybody in between. I will try to do my best to educate about this topic. And again, unfortunately, I But I said in my opening comment, that applied to me as well. On October the 5th at 5 o'clock, 2016, sitting in front of an oncologist I had never met in my life, giving me that a diagnosis. And I'll tell you the story. We'll get into it. I don't even know how I drove home that night. And many of you sitting, listening, watching this show, whatever you may be doing at this moment, know exactly what I'm talking about. It is this, it's a surreal experience. And most people are not prepared for that diagnosis. We don't prepare ourselves for getting sick in that way or it's some similar disease. And some believe that you can't prepare for it. I'm not of that school of thought. I find it interesting that people will take time to prepare their will and all of those matters, but they won't take the time to prepare and it's going to happen. If you don't die of an accident, you're going to die of some disease. Very few people die because the parts just wear out. That's a very small minority of people. So that day's going to come. And are you prepared for that day? Have you built up enough inventory of health? Have you built up enough insight into what to do when you're faced with that kind of challenge? I had built up an inventory of health. And let me tell you, as I sit here with you at this very moment, it's a rough road back. I'm going to tell you, I will not pull any punches. And I expended damn near all of the health that I had in the bank. And so now I have to be careful. Take it each day, not each day, each moment, one moment at a time. And I've given talks on this topic. What do you do? How do you make it? What do you do afterwards? I could burn down the city of Tampa with all of the paper that's been written on this topic. And it's extraordinary how much information is out there, but how little people know. And I was among them. And there's a lot of things I can tell you and share with you so that in the event you're faced with it, you'll be able to do better than not if you didn't know what I'll share with you. And so we'll talk about cancer. We'll talk about the causes. We'll talk about some of the theories of cancer. There's so much misinformation, misunderstanding, and confusion. So I'll get into it, and I'll do it in an optimistic way. And I have my own take on it. And believe me, I've thought about this for many, 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 many hours. I can't even count. And I live with it every single day. And there's a way I can help people to deal with this. And I'll use whatever talent God gave me and whatever technological means available to share that message. And I haven't spent a lot of time on the show. I have not devoted a week's worth of shows to cancer. It's tough stuff. Make no mistake. But I have a friend of mine whose father was just diagnosed with cancer. He's in a lot of trouble. He had pancreatic cancer. he's in a lot of trouble. And I don't know how he's going to fare. I have another friend whose little child, she's just an innocent little angel, been fighting for her life for the last 2 years. Like I said, this is one of nature's most horrible mistakes. Horrific, horrible. But, but there's much you can do to defend yourself. There's much you can do to prevent from getting this horrible disease, and we're going to learn how to do that.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take Solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is non-addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace, for a good night's rest naturally.
Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20 and 50% of men over the age of 30 consume less than the recommended daily intake of calcium. One of the best ways to protect your bones and joints, Bone Up provides Australian hydroxyapatite, the very same form of calcium found in the human body. However, strong bones and joints require more than calcium. Magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, silicon, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and boron are all beneficial to optimum joint function. Bone Up gives you all of these. Bone Up is the most healthful nutritional regimen for bones and joints. Ask for Bone Up at your local health food store. Or, for more information, go to www.jarrow.com for the best in calcium formulas.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Celsius, Live Fit. CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Do Let's Talk Nutrition. We're going to, all this week, we will focus on cancer. We're going to talk about it straight up. I'll tell you how it is, give you the facts, and I'll give you the faith. And you can figure it out, and you have to get, you can be prepared to face an insidious disease like this. People say, well, how do you prepare for it? Well, there's many ways to do that. That part of the narrative will unfold as we move through the week. And you're always invited to call this show, share your thoughts, your views, your experiences on this topic or any other topic. Katie's here to tell you how you can do that.
Give us a call at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK. And you can email Dr. Garko personally. His email is drgarko@letstalknutrition.com. And if you go to letstalknutrition.com, you'll find all of our past shows. They are sorted by date and title.
Cancer is this. Thank you, Katie. Cancer is the second leading cause of death in the United States. I said that earlier. In 2016, those 1,685,210 new cases emerged, and almost 600,000 people died from it. Overall, the cancer incidence trends are stable in women, but declining by 3.1% per year in men. Much of that is associated with the recent rapid declines in prostate cancer diagnoses. Cancer death rate has dropped by 23%. That's good news. Since 1991. That translates into more than 1.7 million deaths averted through 2012. Those souls are still alive. That's good. Despite this progress, death rates are increasing for cancers of the liver, the pancreas, and the uterine corpus, and cancer is now the leading cause of death in 21 states, primarily due to exceptionally large reductions from heart disease. Kind of interesting. That's a interesting little twist. Among children and adolescents aged from birth to 19, brain cancer has surpassed leukemia as the leading cause of cancer death because of the dramatic therapeutic advances against leukemia. So you make progress in one area, and then it gets picked up in the death rate gets picked up in another area. I could talk to you about cell metabolism and cell respiration. I'll have to think about how I want to do that, because that does get implicated into one particular theory that I'll share with you about, and there are many, make no mistake. And I am going through my notes here, looking for, here he is. And I'm going to tell you about a fella named Otto Warburg. Otto, turns out, interesting guy, was a German scientist. And he was the first scientist to describe the unusual behavior of cancer cells. He won the Nobel Prize in 1931 for his work. He noticed that cancer cells only complete glycolysis. See, that's why I probably need to walk you through a little bit about cell metabolism. Glycolysis is a energy producing pathway, okay? Just leave it at that for now. That's where, sugar gets metabolized. And he found that the presence of oxygen should allow them to complete the entire process of respiration. An abnormal dependence on glycolysis as the sole source of ATP creation, even in the presence of oxygen, is seen in many cancer cells. So this business of glycolysis, I didn't want to get into too much of that. People just understand. They say, "Well, I heard that sugar is bad news when it comes to cancer," and yeah, well, that's true, but there's more to the story. So cell respiration, what it is a series of steps where your cells will metabolize or otherwise break down sugar and other chemicals. For what reason? To extract the energy to make ultimately adenosine triphosphate, ATP. Energy is stored in the bonds of the glucose. So, and when glucose is broken down, much of that energy is released, which is what we want. Some of it captured in a form that can be used to work in cells, like I said, ATP. The energy that is not captured in ATP usually gets pushed off as heat. Like when you start to exercise and run, all that heat, you're burning ATP, heat. The first step of respiration is called glycolysis. And it's a series of steps. I've spent many hours in my courses talking about glycolysis and all these other pathways. And it breaks down glucose into smaller molecules. And it breaks it down ultimately into this compound chemical called pyruvate. But most healthy cells continue the breakdown in a second process called the Krebs cycle. And that allows the cells to do what? To burn the pyruvate made in glycolysis to do what? Get more ATP. Turns out that cancer will hijack these processes so that it can stay alive. And that's why people are talking about sugar, sugar, sugar. They don't understand what really is going on here. And I'll share with you Dr. Warburg's theory about it. We'll be back.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
12 about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garka, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
So a little quick tutorial. As I said, cell respiration is that process where the cells go through a series of steps to break down sugar and other chemicals to get ATP, to make energy, create energy or transform it. We don't create energy, we transform it. And then all that energy is stored in the bonds of the glucose, and when glucose is broken down, the energy is released. Some of it is burned right away. Some of it is stored as ATP, but not a whole lot. You can't store a lot of it. And that first step is called glycolysis of that process of cell respiration. Then we move to the Krebs cycle, where it takes a different compound, and it will pyruvate and then break it down. And then the last step is, and I'll tell you, it's oxidative, what's called oxidative phosphorylation, and that's takes place in specialized structures that you hear me say on the show all the time, the mitochondria. That's where the payoff happens here, and this process produces a large amount of ATP. Now, there's an interesting paradox. Cells need oxygen to complete oxidative phosphorylation. If a cell completes only glycolysis, only 2 molecules of ATP are made per glucose molecule. However, if the cell completes the entire respiration process, from glycolysis to Krebs to the oxidative phosphorylation, you want to know how many ATP we make? 36. It gives you a lot more energy. Well, that's good news, right? It is. unhealthy cells that burn the entire molecule of sugar to capture a large amount of energy as ATP. Cancer cells do that. They hijack that process of making ATP, the cell respiration. Cancer cells only partially break down the sugar molecules. They overuse the first step of respiration, glycolysis. They frequently don't go to the second step, right? And get to ultimately to oxidative phosphorylation. So that it only results in 2 molecules of ATP for each glucose molecule instead of 36. So what does that mean? And that means that cancer cells need to use a lot more sugar molecules to get more energy. That's why sugar gets implicated in the conversation about cancer. And so the more sugar you eat, the more ATP is made for that cancer cell to survive. That's why. Now you know. People say that all the time, and they don't know why they're saying it. Cancer cells need ATP like other cells to survive. Well, let's go back to our friend Otto Warburg. He had some ideas about all that. And I said he won a Nobel Prize. He noticed that cancer cells only complete glycolysis, as I said, and they don't go to oxidative phosphorylation where they could create 36 ATP, going from glycolysis to Krebs to oxidative phosphorylation. So, oxidative phosphorylation is what we call an aerobic glycolysis. Aerobic, it needs oxygen. The presence of oxygen should allow them to complete the entire process of respiration. But the cancer cells have this abnormal dependence on glycolysis. They're looking for quick and dirty energy, put it that way. And so they use glycolysis as their sole source of ATP. So therefore, they need to go through that process more. They need to go more to make more energy. They need more sugar to just do glycolysis over and over and over again. Abnormal dependence on glycolysis as the sole source of ATP creation, even in the presence of oxygen, is seen in many cancer cells. This is according to Dr. Warburg. And he wrote a book called Cancer as a Metabolic Disease. And that's why now you know what he means by that. Metabolism. 778978255. Cancer is a mitochondrial metabolic disease. It hijacks not only your cells, but it hijacks the systems, the pathways to create or to transform the food into ATP. And one food that they like a lot is sugar. So this is where we are with that. And hence, that's why many people talk about, well, don't eat a lot of sugar, starve the cancer cells. That's the Warburg theory. Now, does everybody agree with that? Probably not. But it makes that, chemically, metabolically, biologically, it makes sense. Know this, 80 to 90%, please pay attention to this metric, 80 to 90% of all cancer is caused by environmental factors, not genes. Environmental means everything outside the body. Your diet, your lifestyle, getting exposed to toxic chemicals, stress, for example, dioxin, toxic chemical. I keep telling you on this show for 15 years, stress is a killer, and it is. It's nearly always at the scene of the crime, and it gets involved, it does get involved and implicated in cancer. For example, the stress hormone epinephrine changes prostate and breast cancer cells in ways that make them resistant to cell death. This means that emotional stress could both contribute to the development of cancer and ironically reduce the effectiveness, not ironically, but reduce the effectiveness of cancer treatment. And being diagnosed with cancer is what? A stressful event. And the treatment, you talk about stressful. We'll talk about the treatment this week. And then there's these chemicals that are floating around all over the place. They put you at risk too. 80 to 90% of all cancers are environmental, meaning outside of the body. Factors are outside of the body. We'll be back.
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The Heart Drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow, our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish-blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. Available online at powermall.com and straussnaturals.com. I promise you won't be sorry.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products. Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20 and 50% of men over the age of 30 consume less than the recommended daily intake of calcium. One of the best ways to protect your bones and joints, Bona provides Australian hydroxyapatite, the very same form of calcium found in the human body. However, strong bones and joints require more than calcium. Magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, silicon, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and boron are all beneficial to optimum joint function. Bone Up gives you all of these. Bone Up is the most healthful nutritional regimen for bones and joints. Ask for Bone Up at your local health food store. Or, for more information, go to www.jarrow.com for the best in calcium formulas.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Irwin Naturals, premium vitamins and supplements. 25 years of gold standard supplements. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
So, welcome back. Just trying to give you a little bit of insight into how cancer cells work. So here's the health question of the day. Is cancer the leading cause of death, or is it the second leading cause of death in the United States? What do you think? Is it number one, or is it number two? Here's the number to call.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
Okay. Like I said, 80 to 90% of all cancers are environmentally driven or caused. One of the environmental factors is diet. Diet. Cancer cells require, as I said, dramatically more glucose to survive and proliferate more than the normal cells do. Because, as I told you, cancer runs on this energy metabolism process called glycolysis, which is anaerobic. It doesn't use oxygen, so it burns sugar without oxygen. Oxygen metabolism, aerobic glycolysis, allows the healthy cells of the body to extract many more molecules of energy from glucose than anaerobic glycolysis. Cancer cells, the demand for glucose is truly significant. It really is. It's quite remarkable. Now, in terms of food then, keeping that in the back of your mind, what foods to avoid? Top of the list. Commercially farmed meats. Meat. Highly processed meat. And then you got to figure, where did the meat come from? What were the animals fed that you're eating? Whether they be chicken, beef, or whatever. So, yeah. We'll get into that. Let's go to Kathy. Kathy, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
what's on
you.
your mind today? Yeah, you're welcome. Go ahead, Kathy.
Okay, cancer is the second leading cause of death behind heart disease.
Yeah, you're right. When women are asked that question, they say cancer is number one for women, and it's not. It's heart disease, which is interesting. So you're absolutely right. It is the second leading cause of death in the United States. Congratulations. I hope you're safe and well and taking care of yourself. We appreciate you listening to the show, by the way. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So you want to avoid these meats, highly processed meats, dairy products, high in fat, processed, and imitation butter, ice cream, um, and so on. Be careful. Grains, usually the refined foods, the refined grains, all the, that turn things white. Those grains didn't grow white; they were bleached white. And so you want to avoid that. Smoked or processed meats; those are totally bad news. Some canned or bottled foods, because of the lining and the plastic in the bottles and the lining in the cans. Hydrogenated fats or oils, processed junk food, artificially colored or flavored foods. Sometimes some experts will say even nuts that have been roasted and salted can be a source of cancer. Food dyes, you know, um, tri- triphenylmethane, for example, stabilizers. These are like what's called synthetic mucilage carboxyl methyl cellulose. That's a mouthful. You'll find that in processed cheese, French dressing, dairy products, syrups, canned fruits. Residual pesticides are a cancer threat. Animal feed additives, pesticidal what they call arsenicals, estrogen chemicals that will get you into trouble. Like there's one called diethylstilbestrol. So these are external. These are environmental causes. Food wrapping and coating material. People make a mistake and they put food in plastic wrap in the microwave. I've seen that so many times at work, where they'll put food in a plastic container and microwave it. You don't want to do that.
I did used to
What?
do that before I started this show and realized how toxic it was, and I have never done it since.
Don't. Yeah.
I remember the day we had that show, how like I was like crawled up in a little ball because you were describing me so well, talking about how people at work do it, and I was like, it's me. I am the people at work. But I don't do it anymore. I learned a lot that day we talked about how toxic that was.
Yeah, don't do it. Did you quit smoking cigars?
I did. I just last week. Yep, cut those out of my life too. Oh goodness, I can't even imagine attempting to smoke a cigar.
I know you'd probably throw up.
Oh, I probably would. The walking by cigar shops makes me want to throw up. So I'd imagine I probably would.
Cigars just about as big as you are, for heaven's sake.
Oh, it's grossing me out thinking about it.
Another environmental threat: aspartame. Scientists at the Independent European Foundation for Cancer Research in Bologna found, bad news. Long-term, large-scale study of the effect of aspartame. They've done a lot of laboratories. I don't know how many rats they've killed in those studies, and to figure out that aspartame is deadly. Latest results show that aspartame caused cancer of the kidneys and of the peripheral nerves, mainly in the head. Earlier data from the same study linked aspartame to an increased risk of leukemia and lymphomas in female lab rats. Like I said, I don't know how many rats they killed in all these experiments, but nevertheless, in an evaluation, 80,326 women who consumed the highest amount of lactose had a 44% greater risk for all types of invasive ovarian cancer. We come back tomorrow. I will continue and all through the week, continue this tutorial, extended as it will be, on cancer, both for men and women.
Everyone's raving about the newest botanical superstar hitting the store shelves nationwide. Hemp-derived cannabidiol, or CBD, has been receiving a lot of attention for its tremendous promise on human health. Plus CBD Oil by CV Sciences is the trusted brand setting the standards in this newly emerging category of plant-based extracts, offering a variety of hemp-derived CBD oil products that you can count on. In order to make the highest quality CBD oil products available, it is important to manage every step of the supply chain process, from seed to shelf. That's why, from harvesting our EU-certified hemp seeds, to laboratory testing for quality and safety, to producing our exceptional line of products, we are committed to going the extra mile. It is our commitment to you. Join the CBD evolution. Ask your local natural health retailer about Plus CBD oil products by CV Sciences today. Follow us on Facebook and learn more at pluscbdoil.com.
Celsius is a fitness drink which is clinically proven to function. How? As a thermogenic, Celsius proprietary MetaPlus blend accelerates metabolism, increasing your body's ability to burn fat and calories. There are only two ways a body burns fat: through increased heart rate and our increased body temperature, thermogenesis. Drinking Celsius and then going into motion is double dipping. You're accelerating the burn and the results are even faster. Celsius is your ultimate fitness partner. No high fructose corn syrup, no aspartame, no preservatives, no artificial colors or flavors. 100% of 7 essential vitamins. Proven in 6 published university studies. How does it work? Celsius proprietary MetaPlus formula, including green tea with EGCS, ginger, and guarana seed, turns on thermogenesis, a process that boosts your body's metabolic rate. Drinking Celsius prior to fitness activities is proven to energize, accelerate metabolism, burn body fat and calories. Invest in yourself. Drink Celsius. Look for us at www.celsius.com.